Today we will discuss structure of viral, bacterial and fungal cells. First we will learn about viruses. Introduction to viruses. Viruses are the smallest agents of infectious disease. They show both living and non-living characters. Hence, viruses are regarded as a separate entity. It is not taken into account in Whitaker's 5 kingdom classification. Viruses are now defined as ultramicroscopic, disease-causing, intracellular obligate parasites. Discovery of viruses. Viruses were not known to biologists for a long time due to their ultramicroscopic structure, though their presence was apparent by infectious diseases which were proved not due to bacteria. It attracted the attention of investigators only in the 19th century when a virus called tobacco mosaic virus, that is TMV, caused severe damage to commercially important tobacco crop. Mayer demonstrated that the disease could be transmitted just by applying the sap of infected leaf to the leaf of healthy plant. He thought that the disease was due to a bacterium. It was then the Russian biologist Ivanovsky in 1892 who demonstrated that the sap of infected leaves, even after passing through bacterial filter, remained infective, ruling out the bacterium as the causative agent. Dutch microbiologist Beijerink in 1898 confirmed the findings of Ivanovsky and called the fluid Contagium vivum fluidum, which means contagious living fluid. This was later on called virion, that is poison, and the disease causing agent as virus. W. M. Stanley in 1935, the American biochemist, isolated virus in crystalline form and demonstrated that even in that state it maintained the infectivity. This marked the beginning of a new branch of science called virology. Now, we will go through general characteristics of virus. Viruses are ultramicroscopic and can cause diseases in plants and animals. They are very simple in their structure. They are composed of nucleic acid surrounded by a protein coat. Nucleic acid can be either RNA or DNA. They have no cellular organization and have no machinery for any metabolic activity. They are obligate intracellular parasites and they multiply within their host cells. Once outside the host cell, they are completely inactive. Structure of a virus. Each virus is made up of two elementary components. The first is a strand of genetic material, either deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA, or ribonucleic acid, that is RNA. The genetic material is a blueprint for determining the structure and behavior of a cell. In a virus, a protein coat called a capsid surrounds the nucleic acid. This coat serves to protect the nucleic acid and aids in its transmission between host cells. The capsid is made of many small protein particles called capsomeres and can be formed in 3 general shapes: helical, icosahedral and complex. Some of the more advanced viruses have a third structure that surrounds the capsid. This is called the envelope and is composed of a bilipid layer like the membrane on a cell and glycoproteins, which are protein and carbohydrate compounds. The envelope serves to disguise the virus to look like a real cell, protecting it from appearing as a foreign substance to the immune system of the host. Size and shape of virus. Viruses are very minute particles that they can be seen only under electron microscope. They are measured in millimicrons. Generally, they vary from 2 millimicrons to 300 millimicrons in size. Very small size and ability to pass through bacterial filters are classic attributes of viruses. Reproduction in viruses. A virus's sole purpose is to reproduce, but it needs a host cell to do so. Once a suitable host cell has been located, the virus attaches to the surface of the cell or is ingested into the cell by a process called phagocytosis. It then releases its genetic material into the cell and essentially shuts down normal cell processes. The cell stops producing the proteins that it usually makes and uses the new blueprint provided by the virus to begin making viral proteins. The virus uses the cell's energy and materials to produce the nucleic acids and capsomeres to make numerous copies of the original virus. Once these clones are assembled, the virus causes the host cell to rupture, releasing the viruses to infect neighboring cells. Next, we will discuss about bacteria. Introduction to bacteria. In 1676, Anton van Leeuwenhoek discovered the microbial world by his simple microscope. It was only after the invention of compound microscope by Hooke in 1820 that bacteria came to limelight. These very minute creatures were designated as small microscopic species or infusorial animalcules. Louis Pasteur made a detailed study of bacteria and proposed germ theory of disease. Robert Koch, a German microbiologist, was the first scientist to prove the cause and effect relationship between microbes and animal diseases. Ehrenberg in 1829 was the first to use the term bacterium. The branch of study that deals with bacteria is called bacteriology. Bacteria are unicellular organisms and they are prokaryotic, that is, they do not have a membrane bound nucleus and membrane bound organelles. Occurrence of bacteria. Bacteria are omnipresent. They are found in all environments where organic matter is present. They are found in air, water, soil and also in or on the bodies of plants and animals. Some of the bacteria live as commensals. Example is E. coli in the human intestine, and some live as symbionts. Example, rhizobium in the root nodules of leguminous plants. Several of them cause diseases in plants, animals and human beings. Structure of bacteria. Most bacteria have an outer rigid cell wall. This provides shape and support. Lining the inside of the cell wall is a plasma membrane. This is like the membrane found around all living cells that provides both a boundary for the contents of the cell and a barrier to substances entering and leaving. The content inside the cell is called cytoplasm. Suspended in the cytoplasm are ribosomes for protein synthesis The nucleoid, which is concentrated genetic material, and plasmids, which are small circular pieces of DNA, some of which carry genes that control resistance to various drugs. All living cells have ribosomes, but those of bacteria are smaller than those found in any other cell. Some antibacterial medicines have been made that attack the ribosomes of a bacterium, leaving it unable to produce proteins and therefore killing it. Other antibiotics target certain portions of the cell wall. Some bacteria have long whip-like structures called flagella that they use for movement. Size of bacteria. Bacteria are very small, most being approximately 0.5 to 1 micron in diameter and about 3 to 5 microns in length. Shape and arrangement of bacterial cell. The rigid bacterial cell wall determines the shape of a cell. Typical bacterial cells are spherical, that is cocci, straight rods, that is bacilli, or rods that are helically curved, that is spirilla. Some bacterial cells are pleomorphic, that is they can exhibit a variety of shapes. As an example, Arthrobacter cocci bacteria appear in several characteristic arrangements depending on their plane of division. There are several arrangements depending on their plane of division, which are: number 1, diplococci. Cells divide in one plane and remain attached in pairs. Number 2, streptococci. Cells divide in one plane and remain attached to form chains. Number 3, tetracocci. Cells divide in two planes and form group of 4 cells. Number 4, staphylococci. Cells divide in 3 planes in an irregular pattern, producing bunches of cocci. Number 5, sarcinae. Cells divide in 3 planes in a regular pattern, producing a cuboidal arrangement of cells. Bacilli forms occur singly or in pairs, that is diplobacilli, or form chains, that is streptobacilli. In Corynebacterium diphtheriae, which is a bacillus species, the cells are arranged side by side like matchsticks, that is called palisade arrangement. Flagellation in bacteria. All spirilla, about half of the bacilli and a small number of cocci are flagellated. Flagella vary both in number and arrangement according to 2 general patterns. Number 1, in a polar arrangement, the flagella are attached at one or both the ends of the cell. 3 subtypes of this pattern are: A. Monotrichous, that is with a single flagellum. B. Lophotrichous, which is with small bunches or tufts of flagella emerging from one end. C is Amphitrichous, that is flagella at both poles of the cell. Number 2, in a peritrichous arrangement, flagella are dispersed randomly over the surface of the cell. Number 3, Atrichous, that is bacteria lacking flagellum. Flagellar functions. Flagella can detect and move in response to chemical signals, which is a type of behavior called chemotaxis. Positive chemotaxis is movement of cell in the direction of a favorable chemical stimulus, which is usually a nutrient. Negative chemotaxis is movement away from a repellent that may be potentially harmful compound. Reproduction in bacteria. Bacteria undergo a type of asexual reproduction known as binary fission. This simply means they divide in two and each new bacterium is a clone of the original, each contain a copy of the same DNA. Bacteria can reproduce very quickly. Lastly, we will learn about fungi. Introduction to fungi. Fungi, that is plural for fungus, are different from both viruses and bacteria in many ways. They are larger, plant-like organisms that lack chlorophyll, which is the substance that makes plants green and converts sunlight into energy. Since fungi do not have chlorophyll to make food, they have to absorb food from whatever they are growing on. Fungi can be very helpful in brewing beer, making bread, decomposing trash, etc. But they can also be harmful if they steal nutrients from another living organism. Salient features of fungal cell. Fungi are non-chlorophyllous eukaryotic organisms. They are a large and successful group. They are universal in their distribution. They resemble plants in that they have cell walls, but they lack chlorophyll, which is the most important attribute of plants. They are ubiquitous in habitat, which ranges from aquatic to terrestrial. They grow in dark and moist habitat and on the substratum containing dead organic matter. Mushrooms, molds and yeasts are the common fungi. They are of major importance for the essential role they play in the biosphere and for the way in which they have been exploited by man for economic and medical purposes. The study of fungi is known as mycology. Distinguishing features of fungi. Number 1. They have definite cell wall made up of chitin, which is a biopolymer made up of N-acetyl glucosamine units. Number 2. They are without chlorophyll, hence they exhibit heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They may be saprotrophic in their mode of nutrition or parasitic or symbiotic. Number 3. They are usually non-motile except the subdivision Mastigomycotina. Number 4. Their storage product is not starch but glycogen and oil. Number 5. They reproduce mostly by spore formation. However, sexual reproduction also takes place. Structure of fungi. The body structure of fungi is unique. The somatic body of the fungus is unicellular or multicellular or coenocytic. In multicellular type, it is composed of profusely branched, interwoven, delicate, thread-like structures called hyphae. This whole mass is collectively called mycelium. The hyphae are not divided into true cells. Instead, the protoplasm is either continuous or is interrupted at intervals by cross walls called septa, which divide the hyphae into compartments similar to cells. Thus, hyphae may be aseptate without cross walls or septate, that is with cross walls. When aseptate, they are coenocytic containing many nuclei. Each hypha has a thin rigid wall whose chief compound is chitin, which is a nitrogen containing polysaccharide also found in the exoskeleton of arthropods. Within the cytoplasm, the usual eukaryotic organelles are found, such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes and vacuoles. In the older parts, Vacuoles are large and cytoplasm is confined to a thin peripheral layer. Nutrition in fungi. Fungi are heterotrophic in their mode of nutrition, that is, they require an organic source of carbon. In addition, they require a source of nitrogen, usually organic substances such as amino acids. The nutrition of fungi can be described as absorptive because they absorb nutrients directly from outside their bodies. This is in contrast to animals which normally ingest food and then digest it within their bodies before absorption takes place. With fungi, digestion is external using extracellular enzymes. Fungi obtain their nutrients as saprotrophs, parasites or symbionts. Reproduction in fungi. Fungi can reproduce in multiple ways depending upon the type of fungus and the environmental conditions. Reproduction takes place by budding, fragmentation, production of spores asexually and production of spores sexually. Budding occurs in yeasts which are only made up of one cell. Budding is somewhat similar to binary fission in bacteria, in that the single cell divides into two separate cells. Fragmentation is a mode of reproduction used by those fungi that form hyphae. During fragmentation, some of the hyphae break off and simply start growing as new individuals. Spores are tiny single cells that are produced by fungi that have hyphae. They can be produced asexually by a process in which the tips of the hyphae form specially encased cells, that is, the spores. Some fungi also produce spores sexually. Two types of special cells called gametes are produced. One of each type unites to produce a new individual spore. Spores are tiny single cells that are usually very resistant to environmental changes. They can remain dormant for long periods of time until the conditions are right for them to develop into mature individuals. Summary. Dear viewers, let's summarize this topic. In this topic, we have studied the structure of viral, bacterial and fungal cells. Viruses are exceedingly small and essentially round in shape. They consist of little more than a small piece of genetic material surrounded by a thin protein coating. Bacteria are 10 to 100 times larger than viruses. They are typically 1 to 3 microns in length and take the shape of a sphere or rod. Most bacteria consist of a ring of DNA surrounded by cellular machinery, all contained within a fatty membrane. Fungi are diverse in terms of their shape, size and means of infecting humans. Fungi are eukaryotes having a true nucleus and complex internal structures than prokaryotes. Thank you.